everybody. Welcome back, party people. Woo! Yeah, the most excited podcast you'll ever listen to is somebody sketching and looking down at the screen. Woo! Yeah, I know. Come on. I have house music today. All right, guys. So welcome back. Today I'm going to be continuing working in some of those backgrounds. God, this is good music. Damn. Takes me back to my days. Back in my days when we used to rave with glow sticks and drink interesting substances. As usual, guys, go ahead and check out our YouTube. It said we're slowly building things up, so please show us some love. And the other thing, check out the Astrocats page. We're only continuing to work on our timing when we put things out. As of now, I'm probably going to be putting down stuff down on, just like on YouTube, on Wednesdays and on Sundays, at least for my videos. And, we're still figuring out our stuff, man. Figuring out our stuff. So, please show us some love. Also, always thank you for Stream Beats. You guys are the best. If it weren't for you, I will have a pretty bland podcast, while all I've been hearing will be just the fan blowing. All right, guys. So, last time I was on here, I drew the ice room. The good part is my friends loved it. So now today we're going to go ahead and move forward to the engine room. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is saved. I'm going to first turn this off. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop the value of this down. Same thing goes with the base. I'm going to drop the value of this down. Oh, not all the value. I just want the line art. Let's go ahead and drop that down a little bit. All right, cool beans. Okay, so I guess it's pretty much more or less of what I want. Let's go ahead and create a new layer. And, wrong place. Boop. Okay, so, as I told you guys, this room was inspired by the classic Star Trek. I am a classic Trekkie, always been a Trekkie since I was a kid. And I love the old engine room, so I'm going to pull it up, Star Trek engine room. Okay, this is just for my reference. I can take a look at some of the colors. And depending on which series you're watching, the engine room looks a little different, because I would say you have the classic Star Trek, then you have the Next Generation. There's engine room look completely different, as obviously as the ship continued to evolve and become a lot better. So let's go ahead and start building this out. Nope, come on. Okay, so let's go start zooming in. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is start working on I always want to give it that hand-drawn rough look. It's just something that I love. It's a personal preference. If that's not your jam, that's fine. But for this, I really want to give it, like I said, this is just kind of like, as we're producing these shorts, we're just kind of producing some like really rough sketch concepts of what these backgrounds are going to look like. And that's totally fine. And if you go look at the old Star Trek, they had this like crazy tunnel in the back. But in this case, it's going to have like these cat ears in it. And it's funny that I'm genuinely forcing myself to draw backgrounds. I was never a background person. And as I've moved through my career, I've been forcing myself to learn stuff that, kind of spread my wings a little bit. Character concepts are fun, but, in production, you need to wear multiple hats. So here I am. And backgrounds are just as important as the characters, because this is where they take place. And if the background is not good enough, then guess what? Okay. Add a little bit of thickness to this. I'm going to try to... Is the perspective on this going to be perfect? Absolutely not. And mainly we're going to be looking like we're looking up in here. And could I be very specific and measure everything out? Yes. Do I want to? No. Why? Because I want to give it that kind of folksy, kind of like improvised look to these backgrounds. I don't want it to be like measured and sterile, which is fine. I mean, if that's your thing, that's fine. But that's not the look that I want to give it. I still kind of want to give it like, kind of like a kooky fun. Like it's been drawn like a kid kind of thing, you know? At least for these shorts. Once we start getting to animation, then I'm going to be investing into a more cleaner version of these backgrounds. But right now, this is just me coming up with the concept, seeing if it works, if it doesn't work. Okay, and then from here, let's go ahead and rotate that. Alright, let's go ahead over here. Alright, boop. Alright, not quite what I wanted. I'm still used to in Photoshop where if you press the button and hold on shift, it would just kind of hold it for you. And again, I'm trying new pieces of software. It's always good to try new stuff, you know? The only reason why I have this in a separate layer is just in case I don't like it. Well, guess what? I can just get rid of it and that's totally fine. Always learn to work as non-destructive as possible. Okay, then I'll create a new layer. And at the end, I could just merge all these down, so it's not a big deal. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, this will be kind of like the dashboard. There we go. Okay, just have some screens on there. There we go. So this is pretty much like the upper panel right there. And let's go ahead and add some thickness to this control panel. Okay. Am I going to go too crazy with the detail? No. Most of the detail is going to be implied, to be quite honest. And then let's go ahead and work on these rails. Make this a little thicker. This is something that I don't like about the brushes here. It doesn't know how to kind of shrink these down so that way they look okay. There you go. Don't mind me, guys, if I don't really talk too much as I'm drawing. I'm just kind of concentrating and trying to get the concept down right. Okay, right here. This is just to kind of get the idea down. And again, this is one of those things that's supposed to be fun. I usually tell people, I meet a lot of people that they want to only produce when things are perfect. And the fact is, if that's what you're waiting for, you'll never have the perfect art style. You'll never have it perfect. Just create. Just create. And, you know, that's where you get your practice. That's where you get your experience. As you continue, you're going to get better. And I ain't going to lie to you. Sometimes you're going to look back and you're going to go, God, I drew that. That's terrible. But it's okay. Just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Try to always better yourself and just make stuff. Just make it. Make stuff. Make stuff every day. Even if you don't think it's good. But you know what? You did more than that guy that's constantly like, you know, criticizing everybody else's stuff and then they're not producing anything. They're just consuming. So if anybody gives you crap for the stuff that you make, tell them to kiss your butt. Just make stuff every day. Okay, now this right here is going to be tricky because this is going to be kind of like a power source or like a traveling coil system. To make sure I get this right. At least close enough. See right here how the curve is getting messed up? I need to start making this. And again, I just put in concepts together. And if later on we get a chance to refine it, then I will refine. But for right now, I'm just having fun. Just putting all these little backgrounds together. And hopefully as we continue through, a lot of these will become canon. So while we're developing, we're just having, kind of building up the world a little bit more, if that makes any sense. Oh, my thumb still hurts. And that's okay though, because I won't give up. And then I'm probably going to play a little bit of Valheim, and then I'm going to go ahead and work on my own comic. I've been trying to make time to read, time to work on my comics. So I'm trying to make time for a little bit of everything. I've had a really, really crazy day with UX UI stuff, and it left me a lot to think about, so I just kind of need to recharge my creative batteries just a little bit, and this is how I recharge my batteries. And that's another thing, guys. I met a lot of artists that, you know, they're very good at what they do, but they're constantly just drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing, and then after a while, yeah, they get really good, but like their stuff becomes kind of stagnant. And it's good to take a break once in a while, you know. Just don't stress it, don't sweat it, just make stuff, you know. And take a break. If you don't feel like drawing, go to read. If you don't feel like reading, look up some art, look at new shows. Just constantly be inspiring yourself, you know. But if you're just doing producing, at some point you're going to burn out. And there's some people out there that they are like a machine. And you know what? Kudos for them. But what I learned earlier on, that for as much as I wanted to be really good at something, it's kind of like a muscle for your body. If you overwork the muscle, you're going to get tired and you're going to become stagnant. If you grab little breaks and then you start just kind of learning from the experiences around you, then, you know, you're going to be in better shape. Okay, so that's pretty much that right there. Alright, the question is, do I still want these bars in here? Yeah, that's going to be a maybe. So I'm going to put this up here for now. I'm going to grab these three and I'm going to merge selected. And then I'm going to head back here. I'm going to duplicate this bad boy. I'm going to bring him back up. I'm going to collapse this. I do not need you. Oops. There we go. I don't need that. I am going to, however, get rid of some of this stuff back here. There we go. Now let's do that. Let's go ahead and that a little higher. Go. Let's go and do that, and this back here. And I'm actually gonna lighten up this line a little bit, just a little. Oops. Gotta make this. Come on. There we go. There we go. Clean that out, clean that out, clean that out. There we go. So now I have a pretty decent clean line art. So let's go ahead and start picking out some colors. This is just the bars. I'm gonna leave that one for right now. Let's see, what do I want for background? So first of all, let's go ahead and pick kind of like a reddish color. Again, this is just kind of like an homage to the old Star Trek. And in the old one, what I got going on here? Is this? Oh, that's the line art. Let's go ahead and create a new layer. Yes, meow meow. Color base, and you actually will go over here. And from here, I'm gonna kind of get a little darker as I move closer. I know it's not the most efficient way to color, but right now I'm just kind of having fun. I'm just relaxing. And that is good. You know, don't stress over your artwork. Have fun. If you're not having fun at making art, you turn it into a job. And part of the flow is it's about being actually creative. And this is one of those projects that I'm not answering to a client. It's just me and my friends just having a good old time while we produce this. So that is the one advantage that we have, that we can take our sweet time, we can experiment. And we're in the phase right now in our production that we're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then you know what, that's fine. I only lost, I mean, you guys seen, I make these in like an hour. So we're just putting ideas together, and that's fine by me. I can get more detail with this and make something a little nicer if I wanted to. But just for a concept, not really worth it. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and find like a lighter tone. Okay, I want to make sure I've sealed up those gaps. That's one thing I used to lecture my students all the time. Guys, make sure you don't leave gaps. Unless that is done intentionally, try not to leave gaps, please. I said if you're going for more like a chalk kind of look, then maybe. But for this, try not to leave any gaps. The reason for that is if I'm using this in the background and there's some transparency and there's something that I don't want it to go through, well, guess what? Because I didn't fill it up correctly, now that information is filtering through. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean this out. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go over here. Sweet. Go, we got that. Yep. Wrong red. There we go. So now we have kind of like a tunnel that we're looking into, and then what I want to do is pick like a grayish red, and that's because this right here is kind of like a tunnel. Here we go. So it has like a silver tone, but it still has most of the red. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fill this in. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and save that. And then down here now we can also sample some of these colors down here, because remember it was kind of like an office type deal. But I'm gonna mute these colors out a little bit more of a grayish tone. Let's make this a little darker. And in this case, I need to see what this light is doing, because it's probably going to affect what it's doing over here. But for right now, let's just go ahead and color these solid colors. And what I'm currently doing is, even though it might seem like a gray, I am currently maintaining the colors. I'm currently maintaining the colors in here of red. This is what is known as a warm gray. It is not a cool gray, it's a warm gray. That way it kind of maintains everything unified, because this is an engine room. It is hot. So guess what? When things are hot, on average it tends to start turning brighter, such as yellow or red. And then this is pretty much what we're seeing here right now. So a lot of these items are going to pick up a lot of the tones. And keep in mind that light bounces around the room. Light is not just stagnant. It pretty much is a point. If the way to describe it is, it's a point of light, and then it moves at 360 degrees, and it also bounces off for different surfaces. Depending on the type of surfaces, you're going to have more reflection or less reflection, such as a mirror is highly reflective, so you're going to reflect more light off of it. That's why rooms that tend to have, like, it's a room full of mirrors, tend to feel brighter, because the light's coming in, is bouncing off on the mirrors and reflecting that light everywhere. If you have a more dull surface, more of the light is going to be like, I don't want to say absorbed, but it's not going to bounce as much. So just stuff to keep in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and pick. Oh, power this color. There we go. So that gives me the center console. And does this have to look perfect? Absolutely not. You know, just having fun here, man. Having fun. Okay, let's go ahead and borrow some of this gray for over here. And again, what I'm doing is unifying the group by having some of the similar colors. Keep in mind that this right here is like a chamber that is holding these items in here, or this tube of energy. Okay, let's go ahead and save that right there. Oops. Now, if I really wanted to, now here's where I have to be careful. So this is pretty much my main focus. Everything's going to that one point, vanishing point. I can have it where there will be a second point right here, but instead it'll be more of an orange. But I'm trying to make sure that everything's mainly pointed to that red in the center. But again, you know, you can pick whatever you want. I'm not perfect at what I do. I'm just kind of do the best that I can. There we go. You see, everything is kind of pointing towards the center. And then right here, we're gonna have like a orangey gray. Oops, too much. So it looks like it's radiating the color, but it's not too much. And then from here, we can go ahead and do this. So it looks like it's emerging some sort of energy. Just by adding those few little streaks. And again, this is an alien spaceship. This energy source can be anything. Literally, could be anything. And I kind of want to give it like a like a lava-ish kind of look, or maybe like a soda-ish, like it's fuel kind of going into those engines back there. So the only thing I can think of is like soda pop at this moment for whatever reason. Don't ask questions. Then I'm gonna go in and really add a really vibrant highlight. And right here I have to be careful because as you can see my eyes is being steered away from here over here, and that's not what I want. So let's go ahead and remove that. And then let's pick just a little bit of yellow. And this is just a personal preference. Just adding some textures to these. There we go. And then let's go ahead and add like an orangey. What you doing, you bud? What you doing? What you doing, Meow Meow? You being a butthead? Just being a butthead. So with that, I'm gonna borrow some of these oranges and I'm gonna apply it over here. Let's keep in mind that this is hitting these surfaces over here. So it looks like this is picking up some of the light sources. Yes, Meow Meow. So this is my Meow Meow. Have you seen her? She's so pretty. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. This is my Meow Meow. She's Twinkles. Hey, Twinkles. No? No. No. Okay, she hates me right now. Go on. Go on, Twinkles. Go on, do your thing. Okay, so you can see right now, it looks like some of this light source is actually hitting this part of the room. And then we're gonna head ahead. I'm not doing anything too complicated. Not adding any like crazy filters or anything. It's just color. And then just like a random box back here doing box stuff. And then from here, decides this closer to the light source. I'm actually gonna head over here. Let me see, which way do I want to do this? Okay, that might be a little too bright. But if I kind of add that orangey in here. Then let's go ahead and add some thickness to this glass by adding a ledge. And sometimes you don't need to draw the detail. You can just do something simple as this and it gives some thickness to your illustration because it's implied. You're just implying certain details. Over here, and I can go back to the line art. Wherever these spots are, I could just delete that and it looks like this. This is what you got to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind the overlapping masses. Oops. A little too far. There we go. There we go. So what's going to be funny is that this room is actually going to be on fire. So it's going to be fire on fire. So bear with me here. Okay. And then over here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so that fills out that room right there. Then we're gonna borrow Okay, in this case, I want to add some red on this side because I don't want my sole focus to be in the center there. I need to also add some of these colors in different areas so it unifies the drawing so we're not just solely stuck in this side. Okay, so okay, let's go ahead and add something a little more alien in here. I'm gonna do a yellowish green. Why not? Because that's the way the set was set up. Like for reals. Look it up. Look it up. Whoop 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 whoop. Do 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 do. Remember that the light sources are kind of coming from the side. Oops, not too far. So you want to make sure that you're showing that this is the side of the box. So the light source is coming from here, not from here. Okay, and now we can start kind of adding some of these colors here to the center of this console. This is going to be a little both, to be quite honest. The yellow might be a little bit in the corner. Okay, and I'm going to borrow some of this orange. There we go. So that gives them more dimension and more depth to the room. Depending how much this glows, you might see a little bit of the glow back here in the other side of the room. And keep in mind, there's going to be more light sources in here, because this is also emitting a light source. I want to give the loop in here. Okay, there we go. So to give it some little light source, but nothing too crazy. Okay, what I'm probably gonna do here, I'm gonna grab these. There we go, and I'm gonna color them because it's picking up the color from like everywhere in the room. So light can hit like a beam. If it's like a round beam, if it hits it, it's gonna wrap around it. So it's one of those things that is kind of worth putting that in there. And then let's go ahead and go in here. I'm gonna borrow a little bit of this orange, just to smidge it. I'm gonna borrow a little bit of the screen. Alright, sweet. It's coming out pretty nice. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start adding. So the background for this is going to be a little different. Okay, this is just a line art. Let's go ahead and grab. Let's borrow this red. Remember, this room is really warm. So I'm gonna lock this layer up, and then I'm gonna paint the transparency on the line art over here. That way the room is picking up some of that warmth. Okay, sweet. Alright, now here comes the hard part. This is on fire, all of it. This entire room is on fire. So, first thing I need to do is create a new layer. And then I need to add a base color to this. go. So this shows how warm this room is. Remember, your room or the tone set you pick can really set up the ambiance of the room itself. So this is what it looks like without the fire. Now let's go ahead and start working with the fire. So let's go to, real quick, want to go to ice room, and I want to borrow some of these colors. Okay, what am I calling this? Fire. What did I call this? This is bars. Okay, so this is fire. Okay, this box is definitely on fire. And it's okay, kids, because it's its own layer. So don't even ask how an engine is on fire, but this one is on fire somehow. What's up, you bud? What you doing down there? Can I draw better fire? Probably. Can I do it today? Probably not. Just being honest. Okay, somehow the roof on this is on fire. What are you doing down there, Meow Meow? I see you. So part of the console's on fire. How did they not blow up? Because most of these like engines are like nuclear reactive. It's an engine fire. I don't want to spoil away too much of the story. That was a good question though. That's room. Let's spot some of this yellow. Alright, again, I'm just kind of quickly putting this together. Okay, the next one that I need to borrow is the lighter color. Alright, let's go and do this. Right, there we go. Cool beans. Alright, we got the fire going, and then the next part I need to do is create the glow for the fire. So I am gonna borrow, I'm gonna head back up here. Yes, and then let's create a glow layer. Call this fire glow. And in this case, I want to use the airbrush tool. And I want to borrow this tone right here. There we go. Don't worry, I not to worry about this because I haven't put in the blending mode yet. Okay, and I think for this one, it wasn't overlaid. Soft light? No. What did I do for the other one? Let's see. Flames, glow. Let me see what I did for glow. Linear light. That's what it was. There we go. Okay, so that's actually not too bad. So right now I have the engine room. is clearly on fire. It's fire for your fire. Okay, so let's take a look what we got right here. So this is the room without the fire, so that doesn't look too bad for the engine room. And then this is the room with the glow and then the fire added to that. Keep in mind that I'm starting to stick to the style of the previous room, and I'm always gonna create a new folder, engine room. Okay, and I'm gonna put this all together. Okay, so this is the ice room, engine room. So the gig is, the gag is, as the characters are talking about these different events, it's gonna be like snap, 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 and it's gonna like snap. So it's gonna look like the same room, but not really. But that's part of the charm and the joke there. So yes. So, but yeah. So with that, I'm gonna pause right there. I clearly have 2 more backgrounds to do. But I'm trying to pace myself because, again, I pretty much go all day. Like I started this morning at like at 4. So I try not to burn out. That way I stay nice and fresh and, you know, have a lot of fun. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I still need to work on the cafeteria. Probably tomorrow I'll probably do the fire room iced over. It's pretty much what I'm probably going to work on instead. And then I have to start exporting some of the expressions for Hobbes for the next video. Oh, let's go out of focus. I'm totally going out of focus. Okay. So, but again, this is, guys, it's a work in progress. We're a team of 3 people. You know, we had Dave, which is the creator. We have Nate, that's the writer, and I'm the art department. So we're kind of doing this in our own time, in our own accord, whenever we're able. And it's a really good reliever, stress reliever from the day-to-day grind, just to do something creative. So yes. But anyway, guys, so you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Laters.